This would be a good little thumbnail. All right.
Yeah. I have a Batman corner. There's nothing but Batman.
Oh, I know. I've been to the Batcave. I know.
I know a lot of people call it that.
Porn star Hobbs.
What the hell? Why is he my favorite?
How'd you come up with that?
Why is he my favorite?
Okay. His name is Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes.
Book on a previous show said he sounds like a porn star. So
Oh,
I
I
just
did say that.
put the two together.
So that's what, so this is my fault.
Okay.
So I just put
So
the two
it's my
together.
Oh shoot.
Welcome to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Eric and Rob.
Oh, well, welcome back, everybody, to Third Generation Wrestling Podcast. And this is not a show that we could have ever prepared for, but it is one that is only right that we do. We'll get into it. As y'all can see the title, but we're going to get into it. I'm your host, The Real Big E, Rob the Ambassador. How's it going, man? I know these are some difficult days.
Yeah, man, it was a week ago today, actually, that I got the news. Absolute shock. You can't prepare yourself for something like that. But a week later, I'm doing pretty good. The service is coming up on Saturday. I'm going to say a few words and try to keep it together, but I wanted to do this show for sure.
For sure. All right. And of course, we're joined by good brother, the inside man, Blake. What's going on?
I'm happy to be back. I wish I was back under better circumstances, but, happy to be back with the guys.
Right on. Our fourth party is coming in. There he is.
There he is.
Doc Stevens in the building.
Yo.
I guess he's giving us an odd angle, but
I bet.
Welcome in, man. We just started. We just gonna, represent for our man, MJ Book, who suddenly passed away last week. And like Rob said, it was so sudden and just, we were hoping and praying for the brother to pull through the illness, and you gotta cherish every day. Cherish every day. And honestly, I think everybody will agree with this. If he was here right now, he wouldn't want us to even be doing this. But this would be one of those times I would debate him and go back and forth like, well, you don't understand the impact you had on us, and we got to represent. I never did adjust my hat, but I still have the hat he gave us last year. Yep. Countdown. Never left the bar. It's always been there. Always will be. I think, Blake, you just met him last year for the first time, right?
That was the first time I met him in person. Yeah, it was at the house when we did night 2 of WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
So, we had big plans. I figured we are going to keep doing this kind of thing, but here we are.
Yeah, we are. We will talk about.
The best in the world.
Oh God.
But I gave this a B+.
Okay.
Yeah, Drew is okay. So let's get to what this match is all about. Andrade Cien Almas.
Doc, I know you didn't get a chance to meet him, face to face and everything, but you were able to do his podcast and a number of shows with us with him. So just what impact he had on you, and one of your favorite interactions with the man.
Honestly, Book was
he was Book. Like, you know how you can say, you know, you can be like, Rob the serious guy, and then, Blake the laid back when Rob, like Book was Book. That's the only way. And his impact, like I never met anyone like Book. Book, the way he described things that's trash.
Right.
Oh yeah,
me weak.
Blake called me the other day about that.
Well, what's the words I know before he say it always ends with fiery garbage or something like that. But that line he used to use, that thing used to have me hollering.
No, when he used to talk about Baron Corbin.
Oh,
the
So,
human diarrhea bag.
Eric, I called you, Rob. I text you, and he would get so mad when Baron Corbin had a match. He would, and I said to y'all, you know how much you have to really can't stand somebody to call him a human diarrhea bag, but that's what he would do to Baron.
And listen, he meant every part of that too.
Oh,
He did.
That was no joke.
Nope.
Or lower. Had you seen how this piece of shit started?
I know where this is going.
Okay, yeah, this started out as a fucking F, period. But the Riot Squad showed up, and that Natalya and Tamika, they did a good job in this match as well.
Tamika,
yeah.
Tamina.
Sorry, Tamina. Sorry.
Got number 2.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've been drinking.
Yeah, we've been drinking.
Blake, you know how we do.
All right, Book. If you wait, hold on. Wait. You need me to do it for you?
Oh, you know what? Hold up.
Because I knew. Wait. When the match got made, he was like, "No." All right, hold on, Rob. Hold on. Just for you, Book.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
I appreciate y'all. This is the brotherhood in full effect.
Cheers.
It's not a fireball, but it's all I can take. Yeah, come on, folks. Say it with me and say it loud and proud. This was a flaming, worthless, pointless, boring, and monotonous fucking F. I mean,
I first met him WrestleMania 25, and it was I had my friend Lauren with me. It was Rob. We were at Rob's house. Everybody, it was like a big thing. A bunch of people at the house, and it was Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and the room was split. And it was almost like we were there. Like it was crazy. And when Taker finally won, Book, he was a little eccentric sometimes. He did the Undertaker pose, but
yeah,
that was him. It's crazy. And then I think every year after that, it was fantasy football. He was always in our family league, and shortly after he started his own, I joined that as well. And then when we started this podcast, it was just me and Rob, and Book caught wind of it, and I was still just learning how to even do all this stuff. So, but once we brought him on, it just kind of he just elevated the show, because it was me and Rob both kind of laid back. And I'll crack some jokes and everything, but then Book comes on, and he's just a whole other animal. But we needed it. It worked for the show, and it gave me somebody to go back and forth with. But it never. I love the fact that it never actually got like personal. It was just always about the wrestling, and we left it there. Yeah.
You know what I could use? I could use just one more. Eric and Book banter about Goldberg.
Oh my God.
I was going to bring that up. He would never cut Goldberg any slack, no matter what he did. It was
He
going to
could
be
have
an
made
F.
you-
It was going, yeah, it was going, yeah.
And Eric, Eric's face be so red.
I would say to
Uh,
listen, I'm not a Goldberg fan, but the match he was in was not that bad. He wouldn't hear it. He
No,
wouldn't
not at all.
nothing.
Nope. Oh, but I'm gonna give it me as an A. You know? Superb for the Miz. Instant classic.
Miz with the zombies got an instant classic, but Goldberg could get nothing.
Goldberg spears Lashley off the ramp through tables, and that's an F.
Come on, it's Goldberg. Who wants to see?
No, literally, I have a clip of him. It's like, give me a fucking break. Goldberg walking around like he's wearing a fucking diaper.
He said that.
Good, man.
He
Now that's funny.
He didn't care.
Oh,
Nope,
that thing was funny to me.
he did not. I don't want to take up all the time, but Rob, I know that was blood family for you, so I'm gonna give you the floor.
Well, yeah, I don't know how many of the listeners know, but Book is actually my first cousin. He was 12 years younger than me, but at an early age, he would come to my grandmother's house. He would be visiting his uncle or his dad, my uncle. And, I'd be in the boys' room watching wrestling. And just early on, he just kind of gravitated to the wrestling. To me, we would watch it. And as he grew up and became a teenager, we would hang out more. We started talking a lot more, even though I was older than him. It never felt like I was talking to a kid. We had similar interests, like most guys, sports. He was a 49er and Chicago Bull fan. I was a Denver Bronco and Philadelphia 76er fan, but we were movie fans, especially sci-fi. Both of us kind of Star Wars, but he's also more Star Trek, which I'm not. There was a lot of he, as you guys know, as we've talked about on this podcast, I'm a little more laid back. Book is not.
Isn't that?
Yeah, and so we were kind of an odd couple, really, but we bonded over wrestling. That was the biggest bond we had, and we went to many shows together. The listeners have heard us talk about Billy Joe's Picture Show here, second run movie theater where we used to watch a lot of shows. Be hundreds of people there. It was a great atmosphere. When we weren't watching there, we were watching at my residence, sometimes at his. We traveled to Minneapolis in 1999 to see our first Big Four. We saw SummerSlam. And then many years later, we flew to Arizona for WrestleMania 26. Ever since, I believe, WrestleMania 12 or 13, he and I watched every WrestleMania together with the exception of the one that the real Big E and I went to in person in Orlando. Book didn't make that trip, and that was the only one he and I hadn't watched together. And of course, so now, thinking about 2 weeks from now, and he's not going to be there beside me. Man, it's tough to. That's tough.
Yeah. We did so many shows. We did more shows with him last year than we did the previous year. And I think about it more and more, like it just kind of organically happened. It wasn't just, I don't know. And when I think about, him passing and everything, it's like, looking back, we really had a hell of a final. If you're going to go out, we did as many shows as we could. We went to All Out, and it was the best pay-per-view of the year. He got to see everybody from CM Punk to Kenny Omega to Lucha Bros, Young Bucks. He got to see everybody, all his favorite wrestlers. And I guess that's kind of how you have to look at it. Like, well, how did it, how'd you live your life before you went? I just speaking for him, and us, I really think that we had, like I said, a great final run, if that was going to be it. the only thing that would have made it better was like I said, if we would have had just, one more Mania, this Mania coming up, and then I would have won another one, and it doesn't seem fair, but God has a plan. We trust it, and I know Book wasn't a believer, but don't have to be. God loves you anyway, and Book, we love you, and we're glad that we got to spend the time with you that we did, and we will always keep you in mind when we're doing these shows. It's really, he's one of those people where you kind of like, it's harder to accept because of his personality.
Right.
It's like you keep waiting for him to be like, I got you. Not that he'll play a prank this bad. It's just
no.
But yeah, it's I guess it's that, what's that phase? Denial. You don't want to believe it, but we will always continue to honor him, and the show won't be the same. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I've been listening to old shows, and he just had his energy, as they say these days, it just hit different when Book was on the show.
Book was just a great human being. Had a dry humor, I will say that. Book had a very, very dry humor to things, but man, super creative, hard worker, man. It sucks that his podcast didn't get as much as it deserved, because he put in so much work on it. I remember he would talk about that podcast all the time, and it's just a beautiful thing. Diehard 49er fan, diehard wrestling fan, diehard movie fan. Very committed to his craft. I will say that. Book was very committed to any project they would do, especially with the Third Generation Wrestling Pod. I remember they were doing a binge watch for Tropical Thunder, and as much as Book hated the movie, he watched it just so he could be well prepared for that episode. Great human being. Sad to see him leave this world such a young age. Just a reminder, man. You never know what happens. Treat every day like it's your last. Love everyone. Never hate somebody. Book was that type of person, man. Book, rest in peace, man. You will truly be missed.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories, and Biggie, I don't know if you remember this, but you had changed the grading system from the letter grades to what we use now. And I think, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure it's recorded, I just can't remember which episode or which match we were talking about, but I think he was the first one to drop, this was some shit.
Yeah, it was Bailey, and it was a Hell in a Cell. I think it was Bailey and Bianca Belair.
Was that it? Okay.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite clips too, because he caught me off guard. He was like, yeah, I love Bailey and all, but this right here was bullshit.
Obviously, listeners know I'm huge with Bailey. I have been loyal to Bailey. But this was some bullshit.
Wow, okay.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, that's a moment I really remember. And I don't know how much time we have left, guys, but I want to get this in. When Eric asked me to start doing this podcast, Book was there, one of the first shows we did. And Blake, I think you were on that show, and he was just kind of listening. And I could tell he was really interested in what we were doing and wanted to be a part of it. And so I asked Big E about Book, and he was, yeah, sure. Yeah, bring him on. And I just want to say, man, huh? Yeah. I think I tried to warn you. I think. I mean, you already knew Book. You already knew.
Right. I knew.
I think I did try to. Hey, you know Book, so be careful.
Yeah. No problem.
But we mean that in the kindest way, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I know that he had his own show, The Countdown, and I know each of us did at least one episode. I did two. I think you guys have done at least one, each of you guys. And what I'm trying to say here is that this brotherhood and this family that we've built with these podcasts, it meant the world to him. It really did. He loved each of y'all guys. He loved being a part of this. It meant the world to him. It really did.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell, and I love the episodes where Doc likes to fumble his words, so to speak, or get people's names incorrect.
My bad. Keep talking.
Yeah, damn, man.
The doctor of wordonomics is back in the house.
Hey, it's okay. We wouldn't expect anything different. It's all right, Doc. All right. It's
Doc
okay.
of wordonomics, baby.
It's okay.
Book's always right there. Like, I think it was day one. This is like one of my favorite clips of all time. This will always be my favorite clips. You had called Maurice and everything, and I caught it. And I was all right. Like I was laughing, but then I looked at Book, and I saw he broke. He just couldn't take it no more, and I was through after that too. And I mean, he was like had tears. He was always wiping. Yeah.
He want to get my name. He's like, the Doc of Wordonomics.
Doctor of Wordonomics.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He gave, he had a name for everybody. I think he had a play in calling Blake the Inside Man. I think that was
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Blake called me about the human diarrhea bag and I'm trying to think of the other things he used to say.
I mean, the this is a fucking F went to this is a flaming fucking F.
Flaming.
You always knew, and it got to the point where you knew the F was coming.
F.
Yeah, when he did this,
Fireball.
you knew what the grade was going to be.
Yes.
And I remember there were times he would hold up the bottom. We'd be like, "Oh man, really?" Because we didn't think the match was that bad. But
Right.
Yeah. As soon as that fireball came out, we knew what was going to happen.
Or he had the green screen and he would flip the screen.
To all the fireball bottles. Yeah, right.
Or you see the red button that said bullshit.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I don't know how much
appreciated that too. Like he gave us a backdrop for all the shows we did. He would flip the pictures.
Yeah.
I never asked him to do that. He just did that on his own.
Yeah. He really got into it, Eric. When he saw what you were doing, and I know he had to be bugging you a little bit. I know you were happy to do it, but he kept asking you, "Hey man, what equipment are you using? Oh, well, how do you do this? How do you do that?" Yeah. I know he would ask for your help a lot when he first started doing his own thing.
Yeah, and it was no problem. I just, I told him the truth. I mean, I went on YouTube and looked up a lot of this stuff, how to do a lot of this stuff, and but I troubleshooted with him a few times, and vice versa. It got to the point where I was asking him questions. It's just
it's crazy. But yeah, man, I don't know how much time we got, but man, my prayers go out to you, Rob. Y'all in the family, and man, this drinks for Book, man.
Yes.
That's this one.
Look, hey, this is his thing, man. So this is what I'm doing. I'm wearing a hat he gave me, his all-time favorite wrestler, Roddy Piper. When we went to Phoenix, we got to meet him, and then of course Undertaker. That was our dude. So I'm representing in every way I can tonight. So to my cousin, to my friend, my little brother, this is for you.
For you.
Yeah, man. Tell you what, a week from Saturday is going to be, man, it's going to be tough for me. I mean, looking over and That dude has every WrestleMania since 12 or 13, with the exception of 24. He's been right there. It was a tradition. I remember there was one year, it looked like we weren't going to be able to watch it together. I had something going on. I wasn't sure I'd be here. And man, he was just kind of tore up about it, but things worked out. I called him up and said, hey man, the tradition continues, come on over. And yeah, and there it was.
Yeah. And I think I came there for draft. Might have been a draft, or I think it was the draft. I had my daughter with me. And I remember we went to pick him up. It was kind of like last minute because we were going to do the Mortal Kombat Annihilation review. We kind of
yeah.
He was like, "Oh, okay, I'll hurry up and get ready," and he did. And yeah, I just remember staying up watching that movie. But we were all he just sitting there shaking his head watching Rob. I'm not looking at Rob watching the movie.
Oh man. Yeah, they love torturing me with these shitty movies. Man. Ready to Rumble.
Well,
No Holds Barred. You know.
Wait, Howard the Duck.
Speaking of which, in his honor, we already did the Batman review. We did our review for that already, but I know we had talked about doing Lord Jesus.
Oh, you're not gonna say
we.
You're not gonna say Batman and Robin, are you?
Yeah, we had talked about
doing it. He wanted me to watch. I've never seen that one. I own it, but I've heard
Robin.
it so bad, mainly from him. But he's always wanted me to watch it. And I'm like, why do you want me to watch this movie that you're telling me is so bad?
It's so bad.
It's really
it's
bad.
Really bad. But I think I want to, I want to do it. I want to attribute it to him because we talked about doing that when we never got around to it. But I think I want to do that one when next time we're together, and then we can record it in the same room. But it's bad. Gonna need a lot of alcohol to get
I feel like I'm forewarned, but I still don't think I'm quite ready for what I'm going to see.
No,
listen, it's worse than you think.
All right, damn.
Yeah,
it's even worse than you think.
Yeah, I looked at some clips recently.
I mean, what did you hate? I don't think you might not hate it as you're gonna hate it more than Howard the Duck.
You probably haven't. Yeah. Oh God, I actually watched Howard the Duck because of Book, and I never again.
That pretty much tells you everything you need to know about Book. He loved Howard the Duck. Who loves Howard the Duck?
And loved House of a Thousand Corpses. I mean, that movie so bad.
Yeah.
And Biggie, you know this. You know how much we play fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
And Book has his own league. The very first year I started a league, I asked Book to play. He turned me down cold. He said he wasn't interested. Yeah, he didn't want to do fantasy football. The next season, I was kind of pissed too. But the next season I asked him again, and he started to play. And wow, next thing you know, man, he's playing in 5 or 6 different leagues. He's starting his own league.
Oh,
and
wow.
I never let him hear the end of that. I'm like, man, remember that first year I asked you and you just, I never let him hear the end of that.
Yeah, he was that type. He didn't really like trying new things.
Right. But man, I used to always, I'm older than him. So I used to always try and give him advice, never try to lecture him. Because like I said, even though there was an age difference, he was just always a peer to me. I never felt like, I had a little brother thing about him, just naturally, but I would never try to lecture him. But I would try to just give friendly advice like, hey man, maybe you want to try this, or maybe you want to stop doing that. But man, the brother lived his life the way he wanted to live it. He was him. I remember this one thing, and I'll make it quick because I know we're low on time. Anybody who's been to his room or his apartment, which we all affectionately call the Bat Cave, know I used to always say to him, man, I said, maybe you want a little more sophisticated look in here. It kind of looks like a teenager's room or something. And he would say to me, he says, man, when I look around, I just see me. I just see my loves, my passions. I just see, when I look, I see Book. And you know what, after that, I never said that to him again, because, I don't have that luxury because I'm a married man. If I'm trying to bring all them Batman figurines in here, my wife's like, come on, we got bills and you know,
And you want to play. Right?
yeah. But man, he didn't. He lived and did what he wanted to do. He had that luxury. It's what he loved, and man, God bless him.
Yep. Any final thoughts from you, Blake, real quick?
I think for his podcast, I think me and him did like 3 different shows. I think we did Intercontinental Champions or Intercontinental, Champions, Tag Team Wrestling, and
Denzel.
I felt like we had just had like great chemistry. We were just talking about these things. We both, got into it, and yeah, I'm gonna miss him. Obviously I didn't, know him as long as you guys, but his point of view was just crazy sometimes. He was a good dude. I'm just gonna miss him. I miss him a lot.
Doc?
I think I got a chance to do
Space
one.
Ghost?
I got to do one show with Book. What was the countdown? I think it was
Some NBA theme.
Our worst team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Blake said, it's Book one of those you can't help but like him. You actually have to love him. Like you'll look at him and you'll listen to him. Like this guy don't know what he's talking about, but Book actually knows what the hell he be talking about.
Yeah.
And he definitely has an effect on you if you be around him long enough. So yeah, he definitely be missed, bro.
And
go ahead, Biggie, go ahead.
For me, just I mean, I could go on and on. I'll miss him. I miss him a lot. I miss him now. I wish I could just pick up the phone and call him, but I know this is it's a thing, as a part of life. I was raised this way. It hurts, but I'm just glad and blessed that we have so much audio and video of that man, and we can go back and always go back to the archives and watch. Anytime you miss Book, you can go watch him. So
yeah, man.
That's a blessing.
Well, I think one thing I'd like to say is I know on this podcast, and I knew Book for a long time, and he always claimed that he didn't believe in God, but I remember he was about to have surgery once, and he was really nervous and scared about it. And I said to him, well, I know you're not a believer, but I am, and I'm going to pray for you. And he immediately said, oh man, thank you. I'll accept your prayers. And then there would be times he lost a close friend of his, and it really hurt him really badly. And every once in a while he would we'd be getting together for something, and he would raise his glass up to the sky. And I would tease him like, well, where are you pointing that glass at? And he would just say, oh, just the afterlife. What I'm trying to say here is, even though he claimed to not be a believer, I think there was an opening there. And that's all God needs, is an opening. Yes. And so I have no problem saying that I know where he is. And one day I know I'll see him again.
Yes, sir.
As we all will. And we'll be toasting some Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for watching or listening. And, we will get back to doing what we do, because that's what he would want. He would want us to keep going, absolutely, positively. And no matter how hard it gets, we will keep going and moving in stride. But MJ Book, this one's for you. We love you, man. We're going to miss you. We're going to keep it going.
All right.
One time.
Love you, little bro. I miss you. I'll be thinking about you every show, every day.
And as always, we'll catch y'all next time.